Yeah, I know.
Look at you,
Y'all, hey, listen. He just said his name. He just said his name.
Hey, watch out for 757.
Zay, Osama homies, and Mellyway put a bounty on FG Baby in the county jail. AFG Babe is under a lot of pressure in a country jail.
He just touched you again. After he let him go, he just touched him. After he just let him go, he just touched him again.
Favorite what?
Him right here, he just touched him again after they just let him go.
G-Baby, cries again.
Yeah, I know.
Look at you,
Y'all,
G-Baby.
hey, listen. He just said his name. He just said his name.
Hey, watch out for 757.
Social media has been non-stop with clips, reactions, reposts, and commentary from every side. From the way people are talking, it sounds like this situation shook a lot of people up. The streets move fast, and once something happens publicly, everybody starts adding their own narrative to it. Some people are laughing, some people are acting tough online, and others are looking at it as another example of how dangerous street life can really become when somebody has a name, a reputation, and enemies watching every move. A lot of people are saying G-Baby has been one of the hottest names from his side recently. Whether you like his music or not, you can't deny that his name has been ringing bells. Him and Law have been getting a lot of attention, especially from fans who follow Chicago drill culture closely. Their names were constantly in conversations, constantly getting reposted, constantly getting discussed on YouTube channels, blogs, live streams, and street pages. When you become that visible, every move gets watched. That's why people are saying this situation hit different. The streets are unforgiving. One moment you're trending because of music, because of a diss track, because of a viral snippet, or because of a tough image online. The next moment, everybody is talking about legal problems, enemies, retaliation rumors, or dangerous encounters. The energy changes instantly, and that's the reality a lot of these young dudes are living in. People online always talk about the glamour side of street fame. They talk about chains, money, designer clothes, cars, attention, and the image. But they rarely stop and think about the pressure behind all of it. When somebody becomes known in the streets and in music at the same time, the danger level rises every single day. It's not just rap anymore. It becomes politics, it becomes pride, it becomes reputation. And once a person gets deeply involved in that lifestyle, every day becomes risky. The original commentary was basically saying this: when you really have a face card in the streets, there are consequences attached to that life. A lot of people claim street ties online, but there's a difference between pretending and actually being involved. Once somebody's name carries weight, the pressure becomes real. You either get caught with it, or you get caught without it. That line alone explains the mindset many street dudes live with every single day. A lot of them feel like they constantly have to be alert because they believe danger can come at any moment. Whether it's rivals, police, betrayal, social media drama, or random encounters, they feel like they always have to watch over their shoulder. That kind of paranoia changes people. It changes how they move. It changes who they trust. It changes how they sleep. It changes how they think. And eventually, for many people, it becomes exhausting. Also touched on the idea that street life is a gamble with terrible odds. There are 365 days in a year, and all it takes is one bad moment, one wrong place, one wrong decision, one wrong interaction, one lapse in judgment, one person recognizing you, one setup, one mistake. That's all it takes. A lot of young people think that it can survive forever. Real potential. That's what makes situations like this frustrating for fans. People see talent, people see momentum, people see opportunity. Then they watch everything get overshadowed by street drama. Instead of discussions about albums, tours, collaborations, growth, or success, the conversations become about beefs, jail situations, retaliation rumors, and violence. That's one of the saddest patterns in drill culture. A lot of these artists are genuinely talented. Some of them have unique voices, authentic stories, and loyal fan bases. But the same authenticity that attracts fans can also trap them in dangerous cycles. Fans want the music to feel real. The streets demand loyalty. The internet rewards drama. And eventually, the pressure from all three directions becomes overwhelming. Even though people may wish G Baby focused completely on rap and moved away from the streets, at the end of the day, it's still his life and his decisions. A lot of fans online talk as if it's easy for somebody to instantly walk away from everything they grew up around. But for many people, it's not that simple. Street ties aren't just entertainment to them. It's family, it's neighborhood history, it's trauma, it's survival, it's loyalty, it's identity. And when somebody becomes successful while still connected to that environment, they often end up caught between two worlds. The music industry expects growth and professionalism. The streets expect consistency and loyalty. Trying to satisfy both can become dangerous. Another major theme in the commentary was consequences. Whether it's jail time, injuries, loss, betrayal, or death, the risks never disappear. That's why he framed the whole situation almost like a warning to younger listeners. He was basically saying, look at what's happening right now. This is what comes with that life. A lot of shorties see the image, but don't understand the cost. They see the chains, they see the clout, they see the attention, but they don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see the paranoia. They don't see the funerals. They don't see the court dates. They don't see the mothers crying. They don't see the constant fear. And they definitely don't see how fast everything can fall apart. Some kind of situation to happen eventually because of the amount of trolling and dissing connected to G Baby's name. In drill culture, disrespect online often escalates real-life tension. Diss tracks, social media taunts, live stream comments, and public disrespect can fuel cycles of retaliation. That doesn't mean violence is justified, but it does explain why situations continue escalating. The internet amplifies everything. Something that once stayed in neighborhoods now spreads across millions of screens instantly. People react emotionally. Fans pick sides, pages repost clips, rumors spread, and suddenly a local conflict becomes entertainment for the entire internet. That creates even more pressure for everybody involved. A mixture of frustration, disappointment, concern, and realism. He wasn't speaking like somebody shocked that street consequences happened. He was speaking like somebody who believes this outcome was almost inevitable based on the environment and the behavior surrounding it. And honestly, that's the part that hits hardest. When people start viewing danger as inevitable, it shows how normalized violence and chaos have become in certain environments. Young artists should be focused on building careers, building businesses, taking care of families, growing fan bases, traveling, creating opportunities. Instead, many get trapped in cycles where survival becomes the main focus. That's why so many fans always say they want artists to leave dangerous environments once success starts coming. Move smarter, focus on security. Separate music from street politics. Protect your future. Because talent alone doesn't guarantee safety. And fame can actually increase danger. The sad truth is that many talented artists never fully escape the environments that shape them. Some try, some partially distance themselves. Some stay deeply connected. And some become trapped between wanting success and wanting to maintain respect. That balancing act can become extremely dangerous. At the end of the day, the bigger lesson here isn't about celebrating drama or treating dangerous situations like entertainment. The bigger lesson is understanding how quickly street life can consume people. One moment, everything looks exciting. The next moment, people are facing legal problems, threats, fear, and consequences that can alter their lives forever. That's why younger listeners need to understand something clearly. Street life is not a game. It's not just lyrics. It's not just social media content. It's not just image building. For many people, it becomes a cycle that's incredibly hard to escape. And unfortunately, by the time some people realize how serious it really is, they're already too deep in. So while fans may continue debating sides online, reacting to clips, or discussing rumors, the reality behind these situations is much heavier than internet entertainment. Real people deal with the consequences, real families feel the pain, real futures get destroyed, and real opportunities disappear. That's the unfortunate reality behind so many stories coming out of the drill scene today. No matter how entertaining the music may be, the streets always come with a price. And too many young artists end up paying for it long before they ever get the chance to fully enjoy the success they worked so hard to achieve. So when you really break down what people be saying about situations like this, it starts making more sense why certain reactions sound so aggressive or so emotional. A lot of it comes from seeing the same patterns repeat over and over again in the streets and in rap culture. The commenter was basically emphasizing that he wasn't even surprised by the alleged pressure coming from different sides connected to Zay and other affiliates. In his view, once somebody builds a reputation for trolling, dissing, or publicly disrespecting others, it eventually creates a response. In street logic, disrespect rarely just gets ignored forever. That's why he kept circling back to the idea that this is what comes with it. Not in a celebratory way, but more like a warning based on experience and observation. In environments like that, attention cuts both ways. The same visibility that brings fans, streams, and notoriety also brings opposition, surveillance, and retaliation energy. He also shifted the focus onto younger people in general, not just G-Baby specifically. His point was that a lot of younger dudes talk like they're ready for whatever comes with street life, but reality hits differently when actual consequences show up. Online talk, captions, and music personas don't always translate into real-world endurance. When people get locked up, the entire environment changes. There's no image to maintain the same way, no crowd, no music playing in the background, no internet comments to boost confidence. It becomes isolation, structure, and pressure all at once. And that's where a lot of people realize they weren't actually prepared for what they were claiming. The commentary also pointed out something deeper about survival mentality inside jail environments. Resources are limited, and even basic things like hygiene items, food extras, or communication with family become valuable. That's why something like money on a phone account or support from outside becomes a big deal in those situations. It's not about luxury, it's about stability and getting through the day. How quickly pride and online energy can disappear once reality sets in. The same confidence people display on social media can turn into silence or humility when they're removed from their environment and placed into controlled conditions. He also touched on the idea that many young people are not physically or mentally prepared for close-range confrontation anymore. In his view, a lot of street conflict today happens from distance or through tools rather than direct physical engagement, but incarceration removes all of that and forces people into a completely different type of survival scenario. That shift is where a lot of people struggle because the mindset they built outside doesn't match the environment they end up in. Overall, the message being repeated across the entire commentary is a consistent one. Choices in street culture have long-term consequences that don't disappear when the cameras stop rolling or when the internet moves on to the next topic. And once someone is fully inside that cycle, getting out clean becomes much harder than most people imagine from the outside. It didn't really come as a surprise to me that people connected to that circle around Zay and others from that same side of things end up getting involved in situations like this. From the outside looking in, a lot of it follows a pattern that's been repeated over and over again. There's a lot of talk, a lot of tension, a lot of online or public back and forth, and people end up getting caught up in it like it's just entertainment or a game. A lot of the behavior that gets attention is rooted in trolling, in provoking reactions, in trying to appear tougher or more fearless than the next person. And the reality is, that kind of mindset doesn't just stay in words forever. It eventually connects back to real-life consequences, real environments, and real situations where things are no longer about talking, but about what happens when people actually cross paths. What tends to get overlooked in all of this is how different things look when the setting changes. It's easy for people to act bold when they're behind a screen, when they're surrounded by friends, or when they feel like nothing can reach them. People talk freely. They exaggerate. They build images of themselves that might not match reality. But that confidence doesn't always hold up when pressure becomes real. There are also a lot of younger people involved in or around this kind of lifestyle who aren't fully prepared for what comes with it. They might talk like they are. They might repeat the same energy they see online or around them, but they don't always understand what it means when things escalate beyond talking. There's a difference between acting tough in a controlled environment and actually dealing with consequences in the real world, especially when law enforcement and incarceration enter the picture. Once someone ends up inside a jail or county facility, everything changes. The environment is completely different from the outside world. There's no access to anything that people rely on outside to feel protected or powerful. No group standing behind you, no distance between you and whoever you're dealing with, no ability to control situations from afar. Everything becomes direct, immediate, and unavoidable. In those environments, even basic things become a challenge. Resources are limited, conditions are strict, and people quickly realize that comfort and convenience are gone. Something as simple as getting support from family or someone outside, whether it's money for commissary, books, or basic needs, becomes extremely important. People start to understand just how much they depended on the outside world for stability. And in that setting, a lot of the attitudes people carried before don't carry the same weight anymore. The energy people once used to project dominance or fear can quickly shift when they realize there's no benefit to maintaining it in the same way. Survival in that space often depends more on awareness, restraint, and understanding the environment than on any of the things people might have glorified outside. At the same time, there's a reality that many don't fully consider until they're actually in it. Consequences eventually catch up. The things people say, the conflicts they involve themselves in, the image they try to project, it all can lead to situations that are no longer reversible or avoidable. Once someone is inside, they can't just opt out of the environment or reset the situation. A lot of younger individuals underestimate this part. They might believe they're prepared because they've seen others go through it, or because they've talked about it so much that it feels familiar. But experiencing it firsthand is completely different. The mental pressure, the lack of freedom, the constant awareness of your surroundings, these things are not easily understood until someone is actually living them. That's why the broader message behind all of this often comes back to the same point. Be mindful of the environments you place yourself in and the people you surround yourself with. The energy you engage in consistently can shape the direction your life goes, sometimes in ways that aren't immediate.